hello, everyone. Hey, welcome
Hello.
to Heart Center Tarot. As always, my name is Marina. I will be your guide for this portion of the journey. And who else is going to be your guide for this portion of the journey? It's going to be Gary from
Hi.
Twin Tarot
Yes.
and David from Tarot by the Bay.
Hey,
And
twin
yes, they are identical twins, just in case you were wondering.
Identical twin cousins.
Identical twin cousins. Yes.
You heard it here first, and you
Yep.
only hear it here.
Yes, exactly. We
Breaking
have given you
news.
the exclusive rights to identical twin cousins.
Yes, that was a moment in time. I'll tell you. I think I'm probably going to be using a walker to get around, and every once in a while I'm going to stop and laugh, and someone's going to say, "What's so funny?" I'm going to
He's
say,
losing it.
"Identical twin cousins." Hello, everyone, for joining us. I'm so glad that you're here. And I am so glad that, we're doing another Taco Tuesday because, you guys really, really enjoy this show. And anytime that I look at the numbers for viewers, for watch, this is one of your most popular shows. You like to come. So, yay.
I
And
bet you the one with Linda G's the most popular show.
Yeah.
I'm gonna venture that guess.
I think you might be right, but this on a regular basis, this is it.
Yay.
So that having been said, please, for those of you that are here, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to all our channels. It doesn't cost you anything; it's free. And I have Gary and David's channel information and whatnot listed in the description of the video. So make sure that you go over and do the like, share, and subscribe on their channels. David is getting dangerously close to 50,000.
I know, right?
I know.
It's been slowing down for October. The stories haven't been nearly as juicy, but Trump is one devastating health event away from catapulting me above 50,000 views.
Yes, I think so.
Subscribers.
I think so. Not that anyone is wishing ill on him, but oh my gosh, are we going to celebrate the announcement of his obituary? Ooh, yes. I think it's going to be one of those things that, I'm going to hear a noise in the background, and it's going to be, what is that noise? What is it? And when you pay attention to it, I think I'm going to realize that it's clapping and cheering, and it's coming all the way from the U.S.
And how sad is that?
I know.
When basically people around the world will be applauding your demise.
Yeah.
How shitty a human being have you been that's happening? Yeah, it's very select few people get that treatment. I think the last one was Osama bin Laden would be my guess.
Probably, yes. Yeah, totally. So it's unfortunate, but you kind of get the life you deserve. You get the exit that you deserve. And Jennifer says, do you see what?
We try to get the South Park one or this one?
Yes, the South Park. Yeah,
we'll
we'll South Park be next on. If they aren't already, oh my God. Yes, because it's hilarious.
Even savage.
Yes, absolutely. And it's, I don't miss it. And love to watch it. And yes, Lori in Texas. Yeah. Have you seen the White House? I mean, he paved over the Rose Garden.
It's not even your country. That's the worst part, Marina. Look at the anxiety she's suffering. It's not even her country. It's not her capital. But still, it's the understanding and the respect of the institution.
Exactly. And it's Yeah, you want to have a ballroom. What makes you think you're going to be around to enjoy it?
He won't be. That's
You
why
know?
they're starting the demolition now, so that he can see it's actually starting.
Yeah.
One person on TikTok, a young woman, was posting up a video, and she said, just let him build it, because whether it's 10 hours, 10 days, 10 years, at some point when people have had enough, it's going to topple like Saddam Hussein's statue.
Yes.
And I think most people will remember that's kind of an iconic moment when the tank helped pull it down,
Yes.
and a lot of the Iraqi citizens of Baghdad came out and hit it with their shoes, and that's when many of us started learning that getting hit with a shoe is a great sign of disrespect.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. So yeah, it's no matter how you look at it, it is not going to work out well for him. But yeah, it is for the time being. It is what it is, and I'm choosing to look at it as kind of um, watching watching a movie and getting to know who the characters are and kind of predicting what they're going to do next. But I'm looking at it as more entertainment than anything else. So now, before we get into some of the questions, I do want to ask you, David. You were at the No Kings protest,
Yes.
and I saw some of your little shorts. They were fabulous. Fabulous. Was it good?
It was good. We did normally, Michelle and I, when we go to these, we go to the city. We go to San Francisco for it. It's a much larger crowd. This time we opted to stay local. Michelle had tweaked her back a little bit, so staying local was the better option. And we went down to a city called Pleasanton, which is about 10 miles south of where I live. And I raised my kids in Pleasanton. So I know a bit about the city. It's a suburban city. It's kind of a bedroom community. It was founded in the mid to late 1800s, and had quite the reputation at the time.
Wow.
It's the type of place where the cattle rustlers and shit disturbers kind of showed up. It was kind of a lawless town. And now it has a cute downtown, but it's very much a wealthy suburb in the East Bay.
Yeah.
Not exactly jam-packed with a bunch of liberals. These are people with money, and they like to protect their money. And
Yeah.
to see the number of people out there, most of them my age or older, protesting was really quite something to see, because it's just unexpected in that area. I mean, not totally unexpected, but it's like,
Yes.
it was noisy, it was boisterous, it was peaceful. I didn't see any incidents of people driving around in trucks with Trump flags, flipping off the crowd, or doing anything like that. If anything, people were honking their horn in support, or they just minded their own business.
Yeah.
Yes. Exactly. No, I thought it was fabulous. I really enjoyed some of the highlights from the different places. And yes, I'm very pleased that it was basically peaceful,
Mm-hmm.
and that people didn't give in to the baiting, right? That was going on, and those that were doing the baiting didn't work out well for them.
No, and they don't tend to present as very intelligent. The videos I've seen of people baiting, they sound like 4-year-olds and 6-year-olds. There's no intelligence behind their insults.
Yes.
The other interesting thing was watching, and I've seen this more than once, was a truck going by with gardening equipment in the back, and a couple of the laborers around in the truck. Because we do have undocumented workers over here, and a lot of them, they work the fields. They also do landscaping and stuff along those lines.
Construction.
And it probably, I would imagine, in some ways, how refreshing it is for them, because they see all these people out there protesting Trump, the Trump regime, ICE, because that's going to be part of it. And it's got to be reassuring to them that the whole world isn't after them trying to toss them out of the country. That
Exactly.
being said, ICE apparently is supposed to dump about 1,500 agents into the San Francisco Bay Area, like starting on Thursday. So
Great.
good times ahead.
Yeah. Well, I actually, and this is kind of off topic, but it is kind of on topic. Every once in a while, just for entertainment, I like to see some of those police videos, where they, who's the biggest Karen and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that shows up in my feed a lot.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So there was one, and it was a guy, he was pulled over. Turns out that he's an ICE. He works for ICE, Homeland Security. The reason he was pulled over was because he was speeding and he was all over the road. When asked for his ID, he was fighting with the cops and, come on, man, we're on the same team and blah, 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 blah. Anyway, he was getting very loud and boisterous and whatnot. So, yeah, he got pulled out of his truck. He had 2 kids. His 2 kids were in the back of the truck.
Oh boy.
Yes.
Nice.
And when they started to question him, they realized that he was drunk. So they were trying to do the field sobriety test. And I mean, he was, yeah, he was not having any of it. He could barely stand up. What I thought was really interesting and ironic was he was saying to the cops, don't do this in front of my kids, man. Come on, not in front of my kids. My kids mean everything. Don't take my kids away. And I thought, oh, I wonder, is this going to resonate with you tomorrow? Are you going to feel a little different? Are you going to see that what you're doing is wrong? And I suspect no, he wouldn't see that it was.
Yeah, no, there's a special kind of entitle there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those
Yeah.
poor
And yes, Tamara, yeah, he's asked him to keep it quiet so he didn't lose his kids. And he was going through a nasty divorce and whatnot. It's like, hey, sorry about your luck. Sorry about your luck. But now you have some sense of what some of those people that you're chasing who are basically innocent, how they feel.
Yep.
They don't want to be separated from their family and their kids either.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So anyway, what I thought, here we go, 12 minutes in, and what I thought we could start reading on, and I have several questions, was the White House just posted that there is no meeting between Trump and Putin in the immediate future. And this comes on the heels of that fabulous phone call that the 2 of them had. They were on the phone for hours, and apparently, it went very, very well. And he was on his way to that glorious Nobel Peace Prize because, Putin was going to definitely talk to him, and they were going to stop the war in the Ukraine. Well, he was going to have a meeting within 2 weeks. And then a day or so later, he had the meeting with Zelensky, and he told Zelensky that, Tomahawk missiles, we need them too. So I don't know if I can share them with you. I don't know if I can give them to you. Basically sending a message out to Russia that no, things for Ukraine are going to be, status quo. Nothing is going to change for them. So now that, there's not going to be a meeting in the foreseeable future and so on and so forth, Trump didn't give the Tomahawks to Ukraine for a reason. Was he? Are you reading my mind, David?
I'm just waiting to see where it goes.
Yeah. Was he told that you're not going to give Zelensky those tomahawks, because if you do, something might happen.
This VHS with the PP tape on it's gonna make it out. The one that doesn't exist.
Yes, yes, yeah. So is what was he told not to give the tomahawks to Zelensky? Oh, yeah. Okay, whoever gets cards down first, go. Yeah, the answer to that question is yes, of course, says G
Right.
Green. Thank you.
We start off with the 6 of coins, the contemplation of the evidence of the information, the things of value that are there. Underneath it all is the death card. It is a threat. It's like, we have compromise. We absolutely have compromise, and do what, if being told to do what I say. I control you. I own you. I've defeated you. You will do what I say. And right now, what I want is for you to calm things down. In this case, I'm assuming the cooling down is with Zelensky. I need more time. You're going to get me more time, and 2 of Wands, because I have 2 weeks. I'm sure that Putin has more things that he wants to get done, but honestly, he's out of time because it's the autumn and the rainy season, the mud season basically is starting in Ukraine. The summer offensive has failed for Russia, and this is the part where you kind of just sort of dig in and hold territory for a while, maybe have some small skirmishes, but nothing is going to happen again until April, like May of next year, yes, when the snow is thawed and the mud is starting to dry out.
Yeah, I think so. What'd you get, Gary?
So I was kind of going down the path of what's in it for Trump, because he never does nothing for free, right? So I got the King of Pentacles. So what's in it for Trump? There's either, I don't know if this is Trump or Putin, but someone has something that the other one wants. I can make you rich. I've got some information here. It's Ace of Cups is the main qualifier. It's like something that we're very emotional about, or something that gets your emotions going. Ace of Swords, Sword of Truth. It kind of makes me start feeling like you're talking about compromise, because then the next is the Empress. Mm-hmm. It's, hey, Mother Russia's got something that you want, and it's going to make you upset if we let the truth out there. So why don't we just keep our nice relationship going, and everyone play nice, just do what I tell you, and everyone can make nice, and then we can all make lots of money.
Yeah. It's funny that you got the Lovers, because that's what I start off with.
There you go.
The Lovers, the agreement. The idea of getting together with Zelensky was an absolute waste of time, because basically Trump wanted to find out what Zelensky had to say so that he can say, "Hey, Vlad, you're never going to believe what he said." Okay, because Trump and Putin have already decided how this is going to go, and Trump is taking orders from Putin, not the other way around.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Agent Krasnov.
Yeah, he is. Trump has cried wolf so many times and given in so many times that even if he did have something on Putin, nobody would believe him. So they're working on this together. It's 2 of Pentacles deciding what it is that, how they want to handle it, what it is that they're going to say, who's going to come out and say whatever. But it's they're they're measuring, they're weighing out what, possible outcomes there might be. I also got the Chariot, so somebody is going to start kind of pushing for things to go a particular way, and I don't think that that Trump and his buddies are going to like that. I get the Page of Cups. It's not going to be good. It's not going to. They're not going to come up with anything that is going to ease this situation. So yeah, it's unfortunate, but I think more and more it's very clear that when it comes to the U.S. and Russia, Russia is the top dog, right? So yeah, I think we kind of answered one of my other questions that I had on this was who is doing whose bidding.
Yeah.
Clearly, we've answered that question.
Yeah.
Yes, and for the moment, Russia doesn't want to end the war.
No.
Or at least Putin doesn't want to end the war. I think some of the Russian people have had enough, but Putin himself does not want to end this war.
They're probably still telling him he's winning.
I think so. Yeah. I think that's probably the case. So there you go. That's that story. So the other thing that I wanted to take a look at was the latest quote unquote narco boat that was blown to smithereens, and there was 2 survivors.
Yes.
And they were picked up by U.S. helicopters, and they were taken to, I guess, the U.S. Ship or facility or something along those lines. Well, they decided that they were going to release those 2 survivors back to their countries.
Yeah.
So one went to Colombia, one went to, I think, Ecuador, if I remember. If they were, in fact, drug runners, why wouldn't you want them prosecuted in the U.S.? If this is your big thing about you're blowing boats out of the water because they're bringing in illegal drugs, wouldn't you want these people to go through the courts? Wouldn't you want to prove that that's what they are? Unless, of course, they're not, and they are what they appear to be, which is possibly fishing boats. So is the fact that they were returned to their country and the DOJ is not prosecuting them, is it because there is nothing to prosecute?
Well, certainly if you're declaring that you're at war with these folks, which you haven't declared, but you say they are, they should have been held as enemy combatants, but they didn't do that. They returned to their country, which gets to be problematic when you say you are at war, justifying the blowing up of ships because you're not keeping enemy combatants as prisoners of war.
Exactly.
And I don't know, can they be charged in the American courts? They're not on American soil. There's no indication that normally you would have to extradite them legally, and you'd have to have charges and indictments to extradite them. So this is just, normally if they were drug runners, you would turn them over to I think you would turn them over to either the country that they came from or the country that the drugs are originating from.
And the funny thing is, you bring up, the law and the way things are supposed to work. When has that ever stopped this administration?
I would believe Stephen Miller's behind this. He is the biggest racist in that White House, and this has all the hallmarks of his hatred on it.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
So what's the question here?
It's why didn't the U.S. Want to prosecute these if they're drug runners?
Jeez,
Why not prosecute them?
lack of evidence.
Hmm. Yeah.
Page of Pentacles, lack of evidence. They got nothing. You got the world card underneath it, which is extra, going outside the United States evidence, but you're outside the United States, and something like this isn't going to pass the court system. Not to mention, again, if you're saying at war, probably violations of the Geneva Convention, but it's got the Four of Swords and the Tower card here. This is something that they say they have intelligence, but they haven't shown anything to prove it. And then they start blowing things up. This is a mess. This is an absolute mess. To me, it just screams violation of international law. And you haven't presented any evidence to indicate that you're not violating international law. Now, what good does that do? I don't know.
Yeah.
For somebody who says that he's the law and order president and we're a country of laws, we sure as hell don't act like it.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I think this is this is very much worrying for people in the administration who are who still have not lost all their marbles, who can see that, things are not going the way that they should and the country is going in the wrong direction. This is definitely worrying for them. And even for those that are Trump supporters, it's worrying for them as well, because, where is the evidence? Where is the evidence? Up until now, there have been no survivors who can speak against you.
Yeah.
You're showing these things being blown up. Where's all the drugs? Where's all the, there should be tons and tons of drugs, and what none of them has been shown. What they've gotten, in fact, is a whole bunch of BS. Look here, look there, don't look there. Here's a story. I'm going to tell you something. It's not really working out that well. And then the Seven of Pentacles, your people are looking at what you're doing, and it's not making sense. It's not making sense. And they're not, the fact that they have not done anything to bring these drug runners to justice. Yeah, you're absolutely right. They got nothing. They wanted to get rid of them in case these guys wanted to talk. What if they got on U.S. soil and they started to talk? That would not have been good.
So in Ecuador, the guy that was sent to Ecuador, he was released because there's no evidence or indication that could lead to prosecutors or judicial authorities to be certain of any violation of current laws.
Sure.
So
it's out the bottom of the ocean, bottom of the Caribbean.
Yeah, if there was anything, right?
Yes.
So
now, I will say, if you're in a submersible like that, things are looking a little sketchy. Now, maybe your millionaire friend just bought a submersible and you're all taking it on a ride because why wouldn't you want to? That's one thing. But, that will at least looks a little more suspicious when you've got 7 or 8 guys on a speedboat and, that where 5 of those guys would be taking the place that the drugs would be. That's not making nearly as much sense.
Yes.
Well, and even if they, let's say for all intents and purposes, let's say they were running drugs, how are you going to prove that those were going to the United States?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And where's your justification for blowing them up?
Yeah,
you don't get to do that.
Yeah, that's punishment fitting the crime. Okay, so there's no evidence or proof that they were actually running drugs. But if they were, you don't know where they were going with it. And then even if you did know they were going to the United States with it, is the death penalty the appropriate punishment for running drugs illegally. I
And
think
this
most
is-
guys get thrown into pokey and then have their due process violated. They're sent to some supermax prison in El Salvador. I thought that was the process.
Normally, you would track folks like this, and when they get near a country, have that country deploys their Coast Guard to intercept
Yep.
the drug runners, which they usually do is by blowing out their engines so they can't run, and then they board them.
Yeah.
They take them off, they detain them, they inspect the ship. If there's drugs, they find them, and now you've got charges and evidence.
And you could probably get some information.
Exactly. And
So-
all this is oh yeah, there's a boat. I say there's drugs on that boat, so I'm ordering that it be shot out of the water. Whoever gets killed gets killed. It's almost like Donald is desperate to have Venezuela react in a military way, so that he can then say, "Aha! See, yeah, we're at war. All bets are off. We're at war."
Yeah, I just pulled two cards. One is why is he doing it? It's part of his
Money.
it's my legacy. It's the things that I said I'm going to do. I want to be remembered as the guy that was tough on drugs and ended drugs. Energy underneath it is the world card, which I think you pulled, which is basically the world is watching.
Yes.
And this, I suspect that at some point, and I haven't seen it yet, and I put the question out to our audience on our channel, which is for those that live internationally, we're not seeing any real outrage and pushback in the local news sources. How is the world feeling about the U.S. going in and just blowing up shit in international waters without any kind of evidence that in a court of law? And it just seems like right now there's not a lot of the outrage that I was hoping would be out there. It just hasn't quite manifested yet.
I think you're right. It hasn't, and that to some degree, it is. Okay. From my perspective, I would think I'm just going to take a step back. Like, you know what? Not my circus, not my monkeys.
Mm-hmm.
You go ahead and you do whatever it is that you think that you need to do. We're not going to get involved. We're not going to step in. We're not going to do anything except watch you fall on your knees, and then we can say, okay.
Jennifer's got this great comment. It says, Gary, you crack me up. You made me laugh. Tough on drugs, my arse. Take a look at Don Jr. Maybe that's what the 10 of Pentacles was, is Don Jr. Yeah. Like, you just made everything more expensive for me, Dad.
Exactly. Exactly. That's not good. Not good. And somebody wanted to know, David, if you were tired.
Always.
Always.
I can answer that.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, I got up at 5:30 this morning to go to work. It's an hour drive into work. It's an hour drive home.
Yeah. If traffic is cooperating.
Yes.
Yeah. You know what? I have to say that I'm very grateful that I don't have to do that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very grateful I can walk to work in 30 minutes.
Perfect. Yeah. Perfect.
And today I worked from home, so I didn't have to even do that.
Yeah. There are times when I would spend more time in traffic getting to and from work sometimes than I did possibly at work, depending on what I was doing. So,
that's not frustrating at all, is it?
No. Like when we get some of those unexpected snowstorms where you look outside the window and you think that God has taken a bag of white flour, ripped off the top, and turned it upside down. It goes like this.
Shaking it on you.
Yeah. And all of a sudden, traffic, everything stops and you crawl. I've done that where it has taken me over 4 hours to get home, to do what would normally be a 10-minute ride.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Happy snow. Anyway, on to of course, I think we've all heard about the stolen jewelry from the Louvre in Paris, and that they were historical pieces that were taken, and they were gifts that the two or three different Napoleons had given to their wives. Um, there is indication that the robberies were obviously well planned. The guys had attempted to the truck that they used. They had attempted to set the truck on fire. It didn't work, so they ended up on scooters, making their getaway. What's really interesting is that at the Museum of Natural History in Paris last month, there was a robbery, and it was a group who had gone in and they had removed the equivalent of 88 million euros worth of gold.
Wow.
And what they surveillance video was disabled at the time due to a cyber attack. And they were, when they went back in, they found an angle grinder and a blowtorch at the site. They did, within the last couple of weeks, they did arrest a woman in Barcelona who was trying to get rid of some of the melted gold.
Oh boy.
The fact that these two large robberies happened within a month of each other. I'm wondering if are these two separate crimes, or is this one crime by a sophisticated group?
Okay.
Were they the same thieves? Yeah. Were they connected? Oh. Oh, yes. Yeah, I think so. And oddly enough, I think I would not be surprised if when these people are caught, if they don't realize that the person in charge is a woman. Yeah.
I kind of I'm getting the feeling, because I was just asking, are these linked? And I got like, if this was a poker hand, I'd be like really happy.
Yes.
King of Cups, someone that's kind of the mastermind, got the emotions under control. Then you got the Sun card, basically, I've got this plan and it's gonna bear, everything is gonna go swimmingly with it. Just keep cool, calm, and collected. Don't open your mouth. King of Swords, everything's going to go according to plan. And then underneath it, King of Pentacles, and we're going to have lots of money when this is done. It feels to me, I hadn't even thought about that until you mentioned, because I didn't know about the gold crime. It sure feels like there might be a central source here, like this might not have been the same crew of people, but it might have been coming from the same headquarters, if you will, the same
Yes.
planning center.
Yeah, I think so. Well, I start off with with the Queen of Wands, and that's what made me think that it was possibly female led. I also got the Knight of Wands, the kind of the fulfillment. Instruction. I need you to go in and do something, and this is what I need you to do. And it feels very much like orders more than anything else.
Mhm.
I get the Devil, followed by the Magician, and the Three of Cups. I do think that, yeah, these two are connected, and like you say, Gary, yeah, it may not be the exact same individuals, but it's the same organization.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that is going in there, and they're they're very much celebrating what it is that they have done, and the way that they were able to kind of use some of the cybersecurity and the security around the Louvre and the Museum of Natural History and whatnot. The downfalls in the security. Okay, I think this is also telling me about the next question that I have, which is going to be because especially the jewelry that was taken is of such historical importance that to break them apart, the gold or silver, whatever, isn't going to be worth that much. The value is in the history, not in the actual value of the items that are in there. And are they going to be returned because they are historical? And I'm not sure that they are. Okay, what'd you get, David?
I'm getting the foundation is the Three of Cups. So I do think it's a group that's working. Central underneath it is the Five of Coins, and I've got two different interpretations of that. This could be a group that works outside of a state. So like the cathedral is like a big organization, like a state organization, and the people outside are not part of that organization. So that could be like, it may not be the mafia or it may be a government, but they're not part of that. They're like outside of something along those lines. The other interpretation is they've got the items, but now they're going to have a hard time actually getting the value for it. The gold makes sense because you can melt it down, but you're right. The jewelry's different. And underneath, I've got the Seven of Cups. The jewelry, I think, was done obviously it was done on purpose, but you only do this if you know. Gary doesn't always have the best internet connection in the shed. You need to know who you're going to sell it to before you buy that.
Yes.
So I think, like, in some ways, this is like a smash and grab for hire type thing. But this was they had planned this out. They had looked for weaknesses. They they approached the problem different than normally, like, shutting off the security cameras under a cyber attack type of thing. Actually, you know what? It wouldn't surprise me if it is the Russian mob, a Russian mob type thing, because again, with the oligarchs or something along those lines, somebody who's got like or crypto.
Yeah.
This is something that you can turn something into crypto. So somebody has a lot of crypto money is going to want something different and exciting that, I've got the mansions and I've got the yachts and I've got stuff like that. What else can I possibly have? So like, that private collector of things.
Yeah.
So you've got to make sure you don't steal that without somebody to fence it to.
Yeah, that was kind of my first thought is with the jewelry, it's probably your target isn't so much melting everything down and cutting the diamonds down and selling them, as smaller diamonds. It's probably someone that's very wealthy that wants that for their collection and they'll pay for it.
Well, what makes it amazing is just like the sapphires in the the
Yes.
necklace and the crown or the other part. I mean, they're enormous. They're big.
Yeah.
And have a nice color with them. That's what makes them unique. Now you can find small diamonds or small sapphires in great shape. Try finding a 20 karat one in great shape. That's what makes that thing extremely valuable, and the history that goes along with it.
Yeah, and
Breaking it down to its component parts is that's a worse crime than stealing it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I agree. And your point about crypto makes a lot of sense because that's exactly what crypto can be used for.
Exactly.
Yes.
Because it's not traceable.
Yeah, totally. So yeah, I'm even without pulling other cards, just looking at what I have is, I think that, yeah, I don't think that the Louvre is ever going to see those items back, at least not in the foreseeable future, because yeah, it is going to go to someone who can afford to pay for it and doesn't need to show it off.
Right.
Or they can, they're happy with the knowledge that they possess it. They can go down in their basement and put the jewelry on and dance away, right? They don't need to show it off. So it I hadn't thought of like the Russian mafia connection, but actually that would make sense. That would it would certainly bring in some money where money isn't flowing right
It's
now.
desperately needed. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow, that is it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, but yeah, thieves thieve, liars lie. That's what they do. Yeah. Okay, I do want to take a look um, at some of the things that were put up before. And Rose Blue wanted to know was, will Virginia's book help get the Epps file released sooner? Um, I've heard it's making certain people change their shorts. I do think that there are people who are a little tense about it, and it made me think how just a couple days ago, the Buckingham Palace and King Charles announced that
Prince Andrew was losing his titles
yes,
and use of his titles and such.
title,
Yeah.
yeah, and
Getting ahead of the problem. We've
exactly.
already addressed it.
Yes, yeah, exactly. To kind of put distance between themselves and that story. I also read that he and Sarah's um, home, where they're currently residing and have been residing for a good number of years, that they're probably going to be tossed out of there. So no money, no home, no whatever.
When I did my reading on that one, folks in the comment section, and I believe they were probably from England, were basically saying Charles has been protecting Andrew, and William's not going to have any of it.
Yes.
William was brutal with Camilla's sister, and I don't think he's going to tolerate Uncle Andrew.
No. There's William has been through too much to be quiet and to put up with that. I think Charles followed his mother's lead, which was, for the sake of the family, let's not do that. And yeah, William is not about to do that. So will the release of her book get people to come on board, or to start talking a little quicker? I think that it might. You know, she may not come out and name names. You know, Joe Joe Smith was there on blah 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 day, but I think she can give you enough information so you can figure out exactly who that is.
She might have named names. I get for this. I get the 5 swords. Winner
Ooh.
takes all. They're taking no prisoners with this one. And underneath is the hermit card. Let me expose this. The secrets that were done in the dark money that was passed around for these, and you have justice and the minor death card. So I think with the justice card, I think people are gonna demand those Epstein files even more now. And other people, you know, by killing Virginia, I mean her accidental death.
Yes, yeah.
They can't attack her. There's nobody to attack. This is her memoir, and in some ways it's unassailable. You can try and defend yourself, but you can't drag this person through the mud. They're not there.
Exactly. Whatever you say about her, yeah, it doesn't
Right.
touch her.
That's not true. She's lying. Dude, she's dead. This is what she put out there.
Yeah, I got
And you got the full death card.
I got the death card. You know, I died, but this is my opportunity to shine a light on the truth.
Exposure.
Yeah, I think so. So I start with the 4 of coins, you know, holding things close. I think that she probably kept very good notes and good information, held on to that. I then get justice and judgment.
Wow.
It's not often that those two come up together,
No.
justice and judgment. So, yeah, I think that if she names names, I think that would be fabulous. It's about time somebody did. Yeah.
You don't want your name in this book.
No.
You do not want your name in this book.
Yes. Yeah. No, I think it.
Yeah, it's like you said, David. She's dead, so you can't attack her. There's no one to attack.
No, you can't sue her. You can't. Yeah,
you can't intimidate her to shut up.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Can't get her to retract it.
Exactly, and the more people that if they do start to maybe speak out against her, what if somebody orders an investigation into her quote unquote unaliving herself?
And there's a lot of survivors.
Yeah.
So what happens if somebody starts corroborating her story with their own stories? You know, do you really want to open that Pandora's box?
Yes.
Put your tail between your legs and go hide somewhere in shame and never come out.
Exactly. I'm thinking that this is going to be a good thing. And no wonder some people are a little afraid of what's going to come out, as they should be. This is not a normal mind who does what they did.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right? So there you go. Okay. Well, this is interesting. Yeah, Leanna wanted to know, will Mega finally wake up after November 1st when SNAP and food stamps are no longer available and 42 Americans are starving? 42 million? Could be. You know,
only 42. But they're really important.
Yes, very important. Important 42. Are you among them?
The answer to life, the universe, and everything.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, now we know it. Now we got the question.
6 times 7.
Yes. Yeah.
How many people will starve after November 1st? That's the question.
Yeah. You know,
that's a Douglas Adams Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy reference.
Uh-huh. Yeah. I think that this is one of those one of those moments where if you're a Trump supporter and all of a sudden you find that that is gone, you'll be going, what? How are you going to blame Joe Biden for this? You know? Yeah. And what are they going to do? Oh.
Yeah, it's 42 million people are on SNAP, on food assistance.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
And it's not even Trump, it's Elon Musk. Elon Musk is the one with Doge that went through there and was, cutting all the funding. And then, Trump and Congress picked up on it. And they screwed over the farmers because the farmers sold their excess crops to fund SNAP as well as USAID.
Yes. Yeah.
So
And now Trump's giving $40 billion to Venezuela, who then shipped discounted soybeans to China.
Argentina.
Was it Argentina?
Yeah.
And then they go to China.
Yep.
Where our American farmers can't sell their stuff because, tariffs.
Yep. And China, didn't buy from the U.S. farmers. They bought it from Argentina at a subsidized price. So I got temperance. They're starting to recognize that, they're getting what they voted for.
Yes.
And they're seeing that the rich people have all the wealth. And they're very confused by this. This isn't how it was supposed to happen. I defended you and I defended this. But I realized all you did was you just were taking advantage of beating up on me. And it's funny. Underneath it, I got the Queen of Swords. The truth. They're finally getting the truth, and they're realizing that they're in a bad place. They're in a very very bad place. There's my Libby imitation for the day.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay. I get Justice. I get the Ace of Wands, and I get the High Priestess. So yeah, this is going to be a major wake-up call for some of those people who didn't take a moment to think, past the tip of their nose, and who were, lining up to make sure that they put the hurt on someone else. Now it's going to come back and bite them in the butt, and they're not going to like it. And they're going to be asking who's responsible. And, I think maybe someone needs to remind them that you voted for this.
Yeah.
You wanted this.
That's what the Justice card means to me. This is exactly what you wanted.
Yeah. Wow.
I get kind of an overlay here. I start off with the foundation as the King of Pentacles. So on one hand, they're looking at Trump like, hey, you said you're going to lower food prices. You were going to help us out. But I also think this could be Congress, because Congress controls the budget. And I think when they start watching their insurance premiums go up because they're not getting subsidies anymore, and they're not getting food stamps and things along those lines, they're going to be confused because Trump said he was going to make things better, and they might turn their ire onto Congress. Why Congress? Because they have the Hierophant underneath, the big organization. Yeah. And Congress keeps saying, well, the government's closed. We can't do anything about it. Well, I think people are going to start getting a little tired about that. Center underneath it is the Six of Coins or Seven of Coins, evaluating the issue. It's kind of like that. Well, yeah, I could. If you're eating the fruit off the bush, you don't have anything to plant for next season. Mm-hmm. And so they're going to start using all their money, like the GoFundMe. There's GoFundMes for people to pay cash. And you've got Thanksgiving coming up. The harvest is here. And they don't have anything. They're going to look for help. Whether it's a GoFundMe, whether it's pleading with their Congress people, they're going to go looking for help. But what they're being faced with is the harsh reality that starvation is an equal
Yes.
opportunity employer as far as that goes. I think they're going to be more upset with Congress than Trump, but some of them are going to understand that Trump said he was going to fix this, and he didn't fix this. Why aren't you fixing this? You're hurt, as they often say, you're hurting the wrong people.
Yes.
You're supposed to hurt those other people.
Exactly.
Yeah. Not us. We
Not
voted
us.
for you,
We're your
remember?
loyal supporters.
The leopards are supposed to be eating our faces.
Yes. Totally. Totally. You know what? There's it is it is going to be a wake-up call, and it's a necessary wake-up call. People have to take responsibility for their actions. You can't just make decisions on things that only benefit you.
Yeah.
Because your circumstance could change on a dime. It really could.
You should take your best interests into account, but you should also take in society's best interests.
Yes.
Because sometimes that's going to trump your own, where you get an A and society gets an F. It's not nearly as good as society getting an A and you getting a B.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's I think it's part of our spiritual growth collectively, and that is to realize that we are not individuals. We are all part of the one source, and what we do to someone else, we do to ourselves. It always comes back to bite you when you're trying to be nasty to someone else, right? So there you go. All righty. Well, listen, we are at the just over the 1 hour mark. Thank you for those of you that are here with us. I appreciate, and I know that David and Gary appreciate you being
Absolutely.
here. Love the interaction. Some of you have some really good thought-provoking questions, and that is fabulous. And I will remind you, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Doesn't cost you anything. And I looked up today, and a full 27% of people who regularly tune into my channel are not subscribed.
Outrageous.
I know.
Maybe it's a high expense.
Hey, but
Yes. Yes.
So those of you that are currently online, you might have to. Do you have to be subscribed to actually get online to the live stream?
I think I do have it set so that, or it's maybe just for questions or comments.
Yeah, probably just for comments. YouTube does clean up subscriptions, so there are situations where you have subscribed and you think you're still subscribed because you never unsubscribed. You might want to check your subscription status because YouTube cleans them up. Like today, when I was responding to comments, I watched our subscription drop by 4 in an hour. I thought that's weird. And I looked at the video today. The video was net up subscribers. I didn't lose any subscribers on the current video. So it wasn't like I said anything offensive or we said anything offensive in our current video. So I just think it's the YouTube algorithm just, chopped 4 people off of the subscription list. So check your subscription status, and you may have found that you have been unintentionally unsubscribed. So
Exactly. So, and I want to say thank you very much to Linda Lancaster, and she
yay, Linda from Virginia.
Yeah, and she said these funds are not for Donnie's gaudy ballroom. No, they aren't. And just because it's you, Linda, I'm not charging a tariff on that either.
The star on the thumbnail looks familiar. I don't know if that's from like a TV show or Top of the Pops or something like that.
Yeah. But I think you're right.
Very 70s disc. It has a very 70s disco vibe to it.
Every time I see it, I just think of the U.S. Army because isn't that the U.S. Army logo? It's the star like that.
Could be.
It's yeah, but it's not as colorful. It's a star with a black background, but not colorful like that.
Yeah, not with the neon.
Yeah,
red
that feels like an ABC
yeah.
1976 ABC.
Sunday night movie spectacular.
Could be. Could be. But Leanna says Boogie Nights. Could be.
Boogie
Could
Nights.
be. So thank you.
Put the
Thank
front
you.
out.
Well,
Yeah.
Linda's got some splaining to do. Roanoke, Virginia. Yes.
Wow. And yeah, you guys, thank you. We love doing this for you. We really do. If we didn't, we wouldn't. Hey, we wouldn't continue to do this, and we wouldn't have been doing it for as long as we have. So there you go. Thank you all. Thank you, David. Thank you, Gary. We'll do
Thank
this
you.
again in 2 weeks' time, which means we'll be in the first part of November. Cross your fingers, everyone. Okay, that we get some great news, some exciting news that we can read on. So thank you all. Have a great night, and bye for now.
Take care, everyone. Have a good night.
Bye.